Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be she asked me to commit, then she said we moved too fast and I walked away. Right move? Well, this particular email is actually a pretty short one, and this is interesting. He's been in friend zone with this particular girl for a decade. 10 years. 10 years of his life. So he says he finally made a move after all this time, and then for about 4.5 weeks, they were all over each other. And then they had a conversation on a Saturday, this is like Saturday a couple weeks ago, about not wanting to date or see other people. I'm assuming, he didn't say it, but I'm assuming he's probably the one that brought it up. And so it seems like they agreed between the two of them, okay, they're going to be together now. And so I assume this guy's brand new in my work, hasn't read 3% Man yet, but it's really good because a good email because so many guys have this problem. They start dating a girl, everything's going great, they're all over each other, and what happens? The girl backs off. In this case, they talk about being exclusive, and then a few days go by, and she's like, the exclusive thing, I'm not sure, I'm confused right now. We moved a little too fast. And so he got kind of buttered and says, well, I'm not going to invest my time just for the hell of it. And I walked away. So obviously his behavior, his response was not appropriate. But it's a short email, so we'll go through it because this is an issue that a lot of guys suffer from and don't know any better about. Because feminine energy is about opening up to receive love. It's bonding, connecting, boyfriend-girlfriend labels, relationships, nesting, family, children, being nurturing. That's what feminine energy is all about. And so for a man to start trying to lock a woman down to a relationship before she feels emotionally ready, typically 99% of the guys are trying to do too much too soon. Because again, what kind of movies have we seen? Better put a ring on that girl's finger or else some other guy's going to steal it, right? Better tell that girl how serious you are about her and how much you like her before some other guy does that. You do that in the real world and she dips on you. So you have to create the conditions where, this is the reality. A lot of women will say, that's not true, it's got to be 50-50. But it's always better if the woman thinks that she likes you more than you like her. The video newsletter that I did yesterday is the exact opposite. The girl knows that the guy likes her way more than she likes him. She's waiting 24 hours to reply to his text. She's blowing him off. Plus, on top of that, she's being really nasty to him when he tries to set a date with her. And, he's doing a lot of really unattractive behavior instead of letting the woman come to him. He's trying to force things. And so in the courtship, you have to go slightly slower than the woman does because what this does is it cause her romantic interest in you to go up faster than yours. And then when that happens, she calls you more, she texts you more, she pursues you more, and she starts to get to the point where she falls in love. And if you're following what's in the book to a T, typically week 6 or week 7, the woman is going to be asking to be in a relationship. But if you're not, like more than likely what this guy did, is that he tried to lock her down. She initially said yes, but after she thought about it for a few days, she realized she just wasn't there yet. Because instead of it being her idea, it was actually his idea. He was acting like the girl. She was acting like the man. And then he didn't know any better, and he got butthurt and took it personally, took it as a rejection, and then just dipped out on the whole thing. Instead of handling it in a way that I will explain as I go through his email how he should have handled it. And then obviously what he should do now going forward. So he says, Corey, I've been seeing a girl for about 4.5 weeks, but I've been friends with her for about 10 years. I finally made a move and we haven't been able to keep our hands off of each other since. We had a conversation last Saturday night about not wanting to see other people and what the future holds. Well, who brought that up? Probably you. Because if you're the one that brought it up and then 3 days later she wants to go back on that, then that tells me it was probably you that brought it up. It was probably you that was trying to lock her down. Because why? His feelings and his emotions are getting engaged and he's really starting to like this girl. And he could tell she's not in the same place. And so what does that do? The illusion of action kicks in and he feels like he's got to do something or say something to get her to commit, to get her to be with him because he's trying to deal with his feelings of constantly needing to know where he stands with her. Because the bottom line is he can tell that he likes her way more than she likes him, and that's not the place you want to be as a man. He says, I felt that conversation went well, and then, after a few days, she became nervous and said that things have moved too fast and she was scared. Well, if she says that, I was like, well, what do you mean? What are you saying? What do you mean it moved too fast? We've known each other for 10 years. I would say we were probably moving slower than anybody. But if you think we need to slow things down a little bit more, hey, we know each other a decade. What's a few more days, a few more weeks, a few more months? I'm in no rush. I'm really having a good time. And last weekend was a blast. I'd love to see you again. We can talk about it some more, and we'll address your concerns, and then make a date to get together, to hang out, to have fun, to hook up. Because what is happening here is she's feeling smothered. She's feeling locked down to something that you're obviously ready for, but she's not. And so you have to love in such a way that the person you love feels free, as Thich Nhat Hanh used to say. And so what's happening is she doesn't feel free. She feels smothered. She feels locked down to a commitment that she made because you pressured her, not because it was her idea and she was ready. And so this is where he screws up. Masculinity is calm. Does this sound like the response of a guy who's calm? Or does this sound like the response of a guy who's pissed off and butthurt? He says, I told her I wasn't going to invest my time with someone that questioned how they felt about me. So I put my foot down and told her that I was walking away from the situation. How dare you reject me? Instead, it's like, women are like cats. You tried locking her down before she was ready. She agreed to it. And a few days later, she's like, ah. She's freaking out about it. So just say, hey, what do you mean? Get her to talk to you. Open her up on a date in person. Because what she's really feeling is that you're way more into her than she's into you. And so you need to let her know that, hey, if she wants a few days, or she wants to wait to see you, or she wants space, it's like, either way, you're okay either way. You're cool either way. You should be the one that she's trying to lock down to a commitment, not the other way around. Even though the movies and the TV shows are displaying that all the time, that's not how it works in the real world. So he says, did I make the right move, or was it too much of an emotional move? Definitely too much of an emotional move. And you shouldn't be trying to lock girls down. That's, the opposite of what the book teaches, but I assume you're new. How can I recover from this and potentially restart the casual relationship that we had? Well, if you told her you were walking away, then I would give it a couple of weeks. Maybe you hear from her, maybe you don't. If you hear from her, make the next date. And if you don't, I'd wait 2 weeks and then text her or call her and try to get her to go out on a date with you and hang out, have fun, hook up. You just blew the whole thing out of the water instead of just recognizing you're moving faster than she is and you need to slow down. If she says, oh, hey, we're moving too fast, and she was scared, you just got to say, babe, we've known each other for 10 years. Anybody in their right mind looking at our situation from the outside in is like, you guys are like taking forever in your romance. So a few extra days, a few extra weeks, a few extra months is, honey, I'm in no rush. If you feel like we moved a little too fast and you want a few days to be alone, to think about her or whatever, it's like, hey, I'm fine with that. Just call me when you miss me or whatever. I'd love to see you then. It's not a big deal. Because what's happening is she's becoming overwhelmed with her emotions and she's going, ah! That's what women do. It's over-exaggeration of emotions and feelings. And what you did was like, ah, man, fuck you. Up yours, you bitch. You slut, you whore. Ah, I hate you. You can't do this to me. Don't you know who I am? I'm important. It's not a good way to react. So don't do anything for a couple of weeks. And if you don't hear from her, call her, try to get her out on a date. And when you're together in person, you can say, yeah, I was a little harsh. I got a little emotional. I was kind of mad. It's like, shit, we know each other 10 years. For you to go, we're moving a little fast. It's like, it's been 10 years since we've known each other. So you can make light of it and act like it's not a big deal. You're not perturbed. It's not the end of the world. We'll just go a little slower. It's not a big deal. But in the meantime, you should be reading the book and filling in your knowledge gap because you are making a lot of unnecessary, stupid mistakes. It's like the way you reacted was totally inappropriate and wrong for the situation, and you blew the whole thing up when all you really needed to do was get her to talk, allay her concerns, tell her you're happy to slow things down, spend a little less time together until she feels comfortable. It's not a big deal. You don't just blow the whole thing up and go, I'm taking my toys and going home. I'm going to tell my mommy you don't want to spend time with me. I'm so mad. It's just a bad way to go, dude. It's like an 8-year-old. Have you ever seen a mom at the grocery store and her 8-year-old, like when he keeps putting stuff in the shopping cart and she keeps putting it back and says, no more candy. And he goes, and he's like banging his fists in the ground and kicking his feet and crying and throwing a temper tantrum. That's basically what you did here as an adult. So it's extremely unattractive. So if you got a question or challenge that you'd like to get my help with, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen on any page, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.